welcome to Cooking with Cleo today. Sorry, I've been trying to get better at like mise en place. But today we are going to be doing something a little different, and I've got to be honest, I don't have a ton of faith in this recipe, but I have a lot of oranges and a lot of free time, so we're going to try this. So this is supposed to be a healthy orange cake that's made in a blender. So that's kind of crazy to me. How can you make a cake in a blender? I feel like Chef Tomei, my pastry chef from culinary school, would roll in his grave seeing me make cake in a blender today. But I'm still gonna do it. And just for all of you out there, in culinary school you can choose two concentrations. You can choose culinary arts or baking and pastry. I chose culinary arts. So during my time in culinary school, I only took one baking and pastry class, and it was the basic class, and Chef Tomei did not like me. And so that meant that I was just on the bread station every day. So yeah. All right, let's get started. Today we will be using a whole orange, 3 eggs. Oops, I just dropped one. 3 eggs. Let's go ahead and just put these right into the blender since I dropped one already. Oops. Don't drop it, Cleo. Okay? Careful. Good. Yeah, good job. Crack the egg. Good job. And then, ooh, we got a lot of shell in there. Okay. Good. Fantastic. Yay, Cleo. All right, so 3 eggs. We will be using 2 cups of rolled oats, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a 1/4 cup of olive oil, a 1/3 cup of Greek yogurt, 3/4 cup of maple syrup or honey, and I didn't have enough of both, so we have a maple syrup honey mixture, and that'll be interesting to say the least, and a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Okay. So let's go ahead and jump in. Now this is the crazy part to me. So the first thing she says in her recipe, which I will post down below, is to quarter an orange. And you're gonna throw in the peels and everything into the blender. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna quarter this orange. And she says to take the seeds out. I haven't noticed seeds in these oranges in particular. But if you see seeds, make sure to take those out. So throw those guys in there with the peel, which baffles me. I read that 6 times though. She says with the peel. Cleo, why are you climbing out? Where are you going? All right. And she literally says to just throw it, and I'm not quartering it because I don't trust my blender, so I'm doing more than quarters here. So she says to just throw everything in the blender basically. So we have our eggs, our oranges. I'm gonna put in our syrup honey mixture next. And then I'm gonna go ahead and measure out the olive oil using this same exact cup measure. So that we have less dishes to do. So we need, how much olive oil? A 1/4 cup. So let's measure that. Okay, 1/4 cup of olive oil. There's no way this is actually healthy for you, right? Some nutritionist, please tell me what you think. Okay, now let's go ahead and add our dry ingredients. Oh, we need our Greek yogurt, 1/3 cup of Greek yogurt. I'm putting all of my liquids at the bottom because in my blender, well, you'll see in a minute, but it's gonna struggle a bit. Cleo, you wanna lick the spoon? Here. Oh. 2 cups of rolled oats. 1. 2. We're getting pretty high there. Okay, now we need a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Oops, that was a little more, but that's okay. All right, 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Oops, I did the olive oil, I did the Greek yogurt. And finally, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. I usually just eyeball it, but I'm already a little nervous about this recipe. Go ahead and pop the lid on this blender. And I'm gonna cry for my blender. Okay, so it's not moving, so I'm gonna take the spatula and I'm gonna mix it around, hopefully get things moving again. And we're just pureeing this until it's smooth. Okay, once again, not moving, so I actually just looked at the recipe again and it says to add them in the order listed above. We were pretty close. I wonder if you're supposed to blend as you go or if you're really supposed to blend at the end. I don't know. But, all right, we're gonna keep going. We're not. We are seeing basically no movement on the top. So I'm gonna just give it a nice good shake. Okay. Okay. See, this is the part in like a smoothie where I would just, you know, add more liquid, but you cannot do that here. So, mix again, try again. Cleo! What are you doing? Crazy kid! Do you want to push the buttons? Here. Oops, you okay? Here, ready? So it does say you could use a blender or a food processor. I have a food processor. I'm starting to wonder if that's maybe what I should do because my blender is very sad. Hey, so this is my beautiful food processor. I love this one too. I have a lot of kitchen gadgets. And I love pretty much all of them. So this one's so great. Hamilton Beach. If you want to sponsor me, Hamilton, call me. I'm just kidding. I know I don't have enough views yet. Okay, so you have to make sure it's assembled properly, otherwise it will not start. Okay, but once it's assembled, you'll be good. Oh, this blender tried so hard. I'm like really sad. So there's a Max liquid. Oh, that's so small though. How smooth is smooth, really? That's pretty chunky. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, well, we'll put it into the Max liquid setting. And we will just see how well this guy does. Let's see. Oh, would you look at that? She's pretty smooth now. So this one's way smoother in consistency. I'll show you. Ready? Look at that. Okay, compared to this. Okay, so now that there's less in this guy, let's see if this guy will blend better. All right, so it's still having a harder time in this blender. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take out the cake batter from that and I'm gonna pour it into our cake pan. Cleo, where are you going? You silly girl, hold on. Okay. Okay, watch Cleo. So I have a cake pan and they said to line it with parchment or to grease it. I kind of like the idea of just being able to pop it out later. So I'm gonna line it with parchment. We're gonna pour directly in the center. Okay. Wow, this is gonna be a trip. Just gotta say. All right. I'm gonna put this to the side now. And I'm gonna blend up the rest of the batter. You know, in the future, I might just zest the orange beforehand anyways, and then do it if this is a good cake recipe that I'll want to do again. So we have our cake. I'm not going to tip it too much. Our oven's preheated. This is going to go in the oven for 50 minutes. 50. Just went off for the cake, and we are going to check to see if it's done. It looks done just by first glance. You can see that it's nice and brown. There isn't any jiggling. It's kind of bouncy on the top. So we're gonna pull it out and let it cool in the pan for a few minutes. Now, as always, Cleo and I are gonna take a little taste here, all right? Cleo's very excited to dig in. Here, you try first. It's okay. Cleo likes it. So on the recipe, it gives you an option to make a glaze. So I think I'm gonna make that glaze. I think it just needs something to bring it together. There's some bitterness from the orange peel. And I think just having a little bit of sweetness would really help for that. So here's what we're gonna do for the glaze. To make the glaze, I'm just going to zest half an orange. I don't want to put too much zest in it because I think part of the reason the cake is bitter is because there's already so much peel in it, but this will bring a little extra orange flavor. And then I'm going to juice the orange. I am careful not to get any pulp in it. If you are wanting to be extra cautious, then just don't put it into the bowl directly, put it into a chinois or some sort of cheesecloth. And then I'm using tongs to juice it because I don't have a juicer anymore. And this works really well. It's a very effective method. All right, so now I'm going to just add some powdered sugar in. I just eyeball things. This is probably about 3/4 of a cup, maybe a cup at most. And then I'm just whisking it together. We're just whisking that, and we add more powdered sugar as we continue to get the right consistency, and I'll show you what that looks like in just a moment. All right, so this is about the consistency it should be, and we're gonna go ahead and plate it now. Here is our final product.